Hello. So since I'm planning to be filming more, I just figured I would do an overview of my makeup. Just so if anything here you want me to do a review on, I can. I'm always kind of adding things, but I definitely have some like die-hard favorites. I just did a review going over my Westman Atelier collection, so that's all here on my top. I keep setting sprays and just like recharging mist over here on top of my desk, and then I just have some like go-to products that I keep here in this little tower. But I'm gonna go through really the towers today and my makeup parts of it, because in my Alex 9 drawers I store all my makeup in the top, then I store skincare, and then like jewelry overflow. So kind of how I have it set up. I'm gonna give kind of like an in-depth view so you can see if anything here you want more info on, let me know. Okay, so we start here on the left, and this is like my primer, skincare, just like prepping things that isn't like moisturizer and stuff like that. So my newest one here is the Supergoop Daily Dose, but I have Supergoop here as well. That's like the what is that, the glow screen. I really like my Innisfree. I've got Peter Thomas Roth here, which is like a mineral one. These are just like, my go-tos. And then what I have it sort of set up by is I have pore filling, my favorite being the Tatcha, the silk canvas, and I use this little scoop because this is the small size. So I keep that here. These are like Milk Makeup. We have like, Professional. I don't think you can do like a subscription box without receiving one of these. And then the Laura Mercier I like a lot. I'm not like a huge pore filling person, but for me, I'd much rather use something more hydrating. But I definitely have them. The Tatcha is kind of my go-to though. Then in the front here, I have all the new sort of glowy ones, and these have been my go-to more recently. The Auric in Morganite is beautiful. This is the reformulated Morganite, super pretty. Then there's the RMS here. This is the Re-Evolve Radiance Locking Primer. I really like this. It's super glowy. It doesn't really have color to it, but it's just very hydrating. I have not been using my Charlotte Tilbury nearly as much ever since I got the Auric. I'll probably declutter this one. The Becca, again, haven't been using because I've been using the Auric. This is like a little sample of the Valentino one. This is my freckles, because I do have a lot of freckles, but I haven't really used that one yet, so I'll have to let you know. As far as like moisturizing primers here, so my favorite of all of these is the Eve Pearl. This is like the face therapy intensive with like astaxanthin or something, which is like what's found in salmon. It's super hydrating. I really like this. I notice a huge difference when I use it, and I've never heard anyone talk about it. This is the Lawless one that I also really like, Set the Stage, and this is a hydrating priming serum. And then I have the Eve Pearl just regular priming moisturizer. I mean, that's just good just to use as a moisturizer, but really, really hydrating. I've got like Smashbox here. This is like a By Terry. Just some different options. The Magic Cream from Charlotte Tilbury, Embryolé. This is like the cream concentrate thing. And then I really like this if I'm super dry or have dry patches. That's the only time I really use that one, because it's super heavy duty and can be kind of too much under makeup. Okay, so then we move over here, and these are my lips. And all of the lip products that like I kind of have them in order. So these are balms, and I consider like the Paw Paw, even though this is colored like a balm, I just throw this on when I'm just, doing that. I just need to add a little bit of something. But these are really beautiful and really affordable, so I highly recommend these. Got the Laneige. This is the brand new one that I just got in the Sephora kit. This is my L'Occitane, which I really like. Eve Pearl's really good one for lip therapy as well. I just got the Ilia, and that's my Bite. I also keep my lip pencils in here. I don't have much. My favorite's probably the Pillow Talk. This is the medium one from Charlotte Tilbury. This is really beautiful. I have some of the Kylie ones, which aren't bad, and then just like some random lip pencils because I don't really use them, but I definitely like the Charlotte Tilbury the most. I also have like some actual chapsticks, like the Beekman one. I have a MAC Prep and Prime there. Definitely some more like Bite Beauty ones as well. So I always keep like my Laneige samples here for when I'm traveling. I grab those. This is a La Metier Debutée like liquid lipstick, and they don't really like have this brand anymore, but I love this brand. I actually like, this is what got me interested in like doing the Le Bordeaux from Westman Atelier, because I like how this product is to put on. It's very similar consistency. So then I've got like my glosses here. I have a bunch of the Fenty I really like. I really like Fussy. This is the cream one from them. And the wet bombs from Kosas are amazing. I actually have 2 more of these, and they're in my purses right now, so I highly recommend those. I like all of them, and they give kind of a stained gloss look. Super easy to wear. This is Pat McGrath. It's a little bit too brown for me. I don't love that one. By Terry, this one has like a really intense rose smell. It's very expensive for a lip balm. I probably wouldn't get it again, but I got this as like a gift with purchase. It's okay. Then we've got like the Huda, which is nice. The Patrick Ta, where's that? That one's right down here. That one's really, really nice. I don't love this. I'm probably going to give that one away to my daughter because she kind of likes it. It makes her lips tingle. This is a Too Faced. That's an alright. The Milk one's really nice. I think that's most of them. I just got the Lawless, so I'm still using that one. And then what I have here is sort of my lipsticks. I don't really have too many lipsticks. I've just been using a lot of the OG bombs that I talked about in my Westman Atelier video. So I have an Etude House lipstick right here that my sister got me with my name on it in Korea. This is like, I think this is called, what is this? Red Berry from Bobbi Brown. That's really nice. These are two KKW ones. They're nice. They were at Ulta for like $4, so I picked them up. I don't think you can get them anymore. I always have a couple MAC. I mean, like, pretty much because I've always had them. Syrup is this is Mare. Syrup is my favorite. This one's Mon Coeur, which is really pretty. I think that's a newer shade. This is Renaissance from Christopher Buckle, and it's a really pretty color. I've never heard anyone really talk about Christopher Buckle, but he has great products. These are Tom Ford. So this one is Scott, and then this is Casablanca. Scott is like a really pretty plum that I really like. I think from like the boys and girls collection. This is the Salma shade from Charlotte Tilbury. It's so mini, but I paid like $20 for that. It was ridiculous. This is a Melt shade, which is also quite nice. This Fenty shade is beautiful. This is kind of liquid lipstick formula that I was looking for. This is the Uncuffed shade. Super beautiful. I wish all liquid lipsticks were like that. We've got... This is Surratt Beauty. This is a red shade, which is really pretty. Then we've got Naked Honey, which I've had for as long as I've worn makeup. Not this one, but I always have a Naked Honey. And then we've got Dose of Colors here. This is Wander Beauty Balm, which I really like. This is a red from MAC. I just always like to have like one liquid lipstick red for like holidays or something, but I don't wear them that often. This is an orange from Lancome. And then this is Giorgio Armani. It's a little bit too brown for me, but just in case I want like that 90s look, that's for that. All my liquid lipsticks are back here, and I've not really been wearing them. My favorite kind of liquid lipstick formula is the Lime Crime plushie formula. Plushies, I've got like 7 or 8 of them. They're pretty comfortable, that's why I like them. These are the Sydney Grace ones. One of them's like a gloss. This is like, I think these are Taylor and Sarah. I've got Dose of Colors, which are a little more drying, but I have 2 shades from them. This is the Kaja. This one's actually really nice. This is in the shade Chiffon. Very pretty. I have the Wet Cherry. I have another one of these in my purse, but these are the glosses from Lime Crime. They're really nice glosses. I have the only kind of traditional other liquid lipsticks I have are Kylie, and I have 2 of them because Ulta just gave me one of those for free. They're alright. I'm just not really into the drying formulas right now. So for me, if I was going to go for a liquid lipstick, it would be Lime Crime. Okay, so let's go into foundations. This is a drawer that's like constantly changing for me. Some of the things are favorites for me, but I just don't love liquids that much. So if it doesn't work, it's gone. So the Tower 28 is really nice. I was really surprised by this. This is a nice enough, like it's a nice color for me, a good color match, and it's very light coverage, but it doesn't sink into anything weird. It looks great with powder over it. I really like it. The ColourPop Pretty Fresh is actually really nice, and it's a nice shade match in the 2W for me, which was surprising. The Smashbox is definitely not a tinted moisturizer. It's a full coverage. It's one of the only like full coverages that I really have liked over the last few years. This is the 0.1, and it's for very fair skin tones. It's a good color match for me. This is a tinted moisturizer from Le Métier Débutée, and it's like ridiculously expensive, but unfortunately it looks really good. It's unfortunate because it's like over $100. This is the shade 0. It is a really nice tinted moisturizer, but ridiculously expensive. So the liquids, I mean, obviously don't have very many liquids. I always have Face and Body for years. This is C1. I wish they had a lighter shade of Face and Body that would work for me, but this is like a summer shade for me. Tom Ford, I think I have this in Cameo, or no, that's my Trace stick foundation. This is 0.5 Porcelain. I got that at the CCO for like, I think it was like 75% off, so I like it. It's alright, but I'm not a huge liquid fan. My favorite of these liquids right now would be the Charlotte Tilbury, and I mix this with the Auric in Morganite, and that's how I like to wear it. It's a little bit too full coverage. I've got like the Skin Longwear from Bobbi Brown, which is also an okay liquid for me. Then we're going to go to, like, I only have 2 stick foundations, obviously, other than the Westman Atelier, but this is the Cameo shade from Tom Ford. It does, honestly, a very similar thing to me than the Westman, but I can't throw it out right now because it's so expensive. And then I have the Hourglass in cream. I use this more as a concealer. So then I have 2 William Tuttle products, or I have a couple William Tuttles, but as far as complexion, this is the shade that they have for, I think this is highlighter, yeah, special highlight, but this ends up being like a foundation shade for me. And then I have Elvira from them, which is too light for me, which literally never happens ever, but it's like a little bit darker than a white, so it's kind of good for me as like, it's like the only time ever I've had an actually lightening under eye concealer. So that is the Elvira. I mean, it's way too big of a like tub for what I'll ever use it for, but it is an actual shade that is lighter than my skin tone, so pretty shocking that isn't white. Then we have Kevyn Aucoin. This is a pretty awesome product. I just use it as concealer. I have it in the shade 2, and weirdly enough, it works for my skin tone. It's a little bit dark, but I can totally get away with it, and normally that's not the case when you go to the second shade for me. These are Joe Blasco, so I have his foundations, and then 2 of his concealers. I have the Tattoo and the Extra Light. I personally like the Tattoo shade for, it's like the Tattoo 1, but for me, it works really well for like my skin tone. So, you know, sometimes like the foundation shade just doesn't work for you. Sometimes these specialty shades might work depending on your undertones. And then I have, this is like a really nice MAC palette. It's NC, I think it's NC 15, yeah, and then NW 10. I love those, especially on the go. And then I mix these 2 for under eye. I always have to mix a little bit of that yellow because this is like a little bit too peachy for me. I have the, this is the Eve Pearl light, and this is her concealer for like under eye. She always does these kind of duo split pans. They work super well. Eve Pearl is what I use for my wedding makeup, and I got my makeup done by her about 10 years ago. You have to look up her method, but she does reverse contouring, some really amazing techniques, really beautiful products. These are my 2 kind of like no makeup concealer days, because this is RMS, the 000 shade in the What Uncover Up, and this is a La Metier concealer. Ridiculously expensive for what it kind of achieves, but if you're looking for like just a little bit of taking the edge off, and if you're not wearing any makeup, these are really good for that. Then I have 2 more of like the cream foundations, both from Eve Pearl. One is in the fair, one is in the light. If you use the Eve Pearl contour method, you use like a light shade and a darker shade in kind of the reverse placement of normal contour. So I like to use the lightest shade in fair and the darker shade in the light for me to have enough contrast. That's how it works. Then in the back I have 2 cushions, the Korean cushions, and I always use these when I travel because they're just so easy to use when you're traveling and like touch-ups, but that's why I have them in the back. Then I have my sort of more of the liquidy concealers that I have. I just got the Rose Ink. I'm still trying that out. But I have the Thrive. That's a beautiful formula. The Kylie in Pearl is actually really light, so I like that. Doll 10. This is a really nice creaseless concealer for under eyes, and it's full coverage. I have MAC NW. Is this NW? No, it's NC 15. It's actually a little bit too warm right now. It's kind of a good summer shade for me. Definitely like a go-to for years, though. I do like that one. And then I have the Sharp Tart Shape Tape just in case I need like a full coverage concealer moment. And then I have a white from ColourPop. I've used this for Halloween several times. And I always keep that in case I need to lighten something up. And then I have, this is a Giorgio Armani corrector, and I love this. This is in the shade 2. This is so easy to put on. The brush is amazingly thin and delicate, and you can put it right in a spot that needs it, and it's perfect. Okay, so let's go over to the powder foundation section. So what we've got here, my go-to everyday foundation that I love is, this is actually the Well Rested from Everyday Minerals. It's supposed to be an under eye brightening shade, but it works for me as foundation. This is actually a really good foundation that you can probably find on eBay. J. Manual. It's no longer like a brand, but their foundation is really nice. It actually quickly turns into powder when you use it, but it gives kind of the benefit of a mineral makeup. Then this is the Bare Minerals Original in Fair. I don't really use that often. I usually use, like I said, Well Rested, but I just keep it as a backup. I have a little one here from Everyday Minerals that I travel with. This is Youngblood Pearl. This gives some nasty flashback, but if you're not doing color photography, it's like really full coverage mineral makeup. So that's why I keep this around. I've been using that for a long time. I keep some backups back here of both the Everyday Minerals and the Youngblood. This is the Origin Silkscreen foundation. It's my least favorite of them. I just kind of have it back there. It is not like a bad thing to keep with you on the go, but I just don't love the color for it. This is the Make in Warm 1. It's very yellow, but I like to have a yellow in case I need to neutralize. So then we have my Eve Pearl. This is the powder version of the cream foundation, and I use this when I use her method to set both of my like light and dark, because it's a split pan in here. I've got my Laura Geller. We have Fair and Porcelain. I actually like to mix the two. Fair is a little bit too yellow or too warm for me, and Porcelain gives like way too much pink to the skin, so a mix of these is good for me. Then I have the Laura Geller. This is in Porcelain. This is the Radiance foundation. I don't love this, but I still kind of am keeping it around. It's a little bit too luminous, not enough coverage. I've got my Dior powder here. This is, it's definitely the lightest shade. It's 0 and neutral. I've been using this to set recently. I haven't been using it long enough to really know what I think about it, but it seems okay for me. You know, I don't love like colored powders to set because it's another layer of color, but you know, it's doing all right. This is my favorite powder. This is the Ethereal Light from the Ambient Powder from Hourglass. It is super beautiful if you're fair. This is a sample I got of the Kosas, and this is the Cloud Set in Breezy, which is, I would argue, a little bit too dark, but I use this to set like over any area that like contour or almost to like lightly bronze my skin with it. This is a Charlotte Tilbury, the mini size of the Fair powder, and I use this for under eyes to set. These are two Everyday Mineral color correctors, and this is Sunlight, which is yellow, Abbott Perk Me Up, which is orange. I don't really use this one, but Sunlight, it's kind of where I learned to use a yellow toned product to kind of neutralize my red, and this is really good for under my eyes if I'm feeling a little bit like way too blue and purple. I'll use a little bit of this. These are two Eve Pearl powders. One is in neutral and one is in porcelain. The neutral is like a really like neutral shade, and then porcelain is really bright. This is really good for under eyes for me. Then there's the Invisible Finish powder, and it's like a balmy shade, but it's good if you're oily. And then I've got a bunch of translucents back there. I don't use them very often, but in case I need them. Okay, then we've got like the heavy drawers here. So this is my blush drawer. And then I have a cream. These are powder blushes, cream blushes. Okay, so I have them arranged by color tones. I'm just going to quickly kind of mention some of my favorites here. This is a new addition that I love. This is the Patrick Ta, what is this called? Major Headlines Blush. It's cream and powder. Amazing. It's super pigmented, but I find like the creams are so beautiful for every day, and just use it lightly. Like you can wear any color blush, just use it lightly. So how I have mine arranged are by how I like to use blushes. So these are all of my like purple shades right here, and then it's like neutral pink, like rose shades, and then more pinky shades. Then we've got peachy shades, and then some weird kind of avant-garde shades, and then this is my Jaclyn Hill palette that's really beautiful actually, and then I have a custom blush back there. So I'm gonna say some of my favorites. It Cosmetics has these, you can probably still find them. I know they still have them on their website. They're usually like $13 clearance. These are the Vitality Cheek Flushes. I have like 4 of these, and they're all in kind of different sections because they're different tones, but I just literally take them all out and then just dot my brush into all of them and just get a perfect color. Dab it off because they're really pigmented, and then these are like stains, so they last so long. They're amazingly beautiful. So some of my favorite blushes for like 10 years plus. Then I really like the Kat Von D. This is the Rosebud. I've been wearing this a lot lately. Just such an easy blush to wear. The Buxom ones are really nice as well. This is like Havana. Then I've got some MAC, not my favorite anymore. The KKW ones are actually really nice. I got these like 75% off, and this is like Rose Quartz and what is it, Fuzzy Pink. Really pretty blushes. As far as like the purple tone one, the Wayne Goss one is really nice. This one's like the really dark one. It's called Vivid Azalea. Again, it kind of works like a stain for me because it's so dark. Really like that product as well. The balm ones are not great. Like I only like the bottom blush for these, and that's a really luminous blush, so it's okay. Then for the pink ones that I have, some of my favorites, again, this is like the Buxom. This is the It Bye Bye Pores blush. I don't like this as much as I like the, what are these, Vitality Cheek Flush. These are way better in my opinion. Then there's the KKW I have here. The J. Manuel blushes are amazing, and I'm so sad that you can't get them. This is my favorite. It's Awake, and it's so beautiful. Again, like really pigmented, and you need almost none of it, but it's an amazing blush. This is a ColourPop that obviously you can't get anymore because ColourPop constantly gets stuff and gets rid of it, but I love the swirl shade in here, and it's actually very similar if you have the Camilla from Becca, like a very luminous blush. And then this is the Laura Geller in Malibu. That's super pink, very pretty. So as far as peachy blush goes, my kind of favorite peachy blushes are the Charlotte Tilbury. I have Pillow Talk, and I have that, what is that one? Ecstasy. They're both really nice. And then, what does it have here? By Therese. That's like, I got it, this is like a sample or something. It's really nice, but like not for the crazy outrageous price that they have. This is Natasha Denona Glow. Don't love that. This is NARS Orgasm. I just always have that because I feel like I have to have that, but I don't really wear it anymore. I used to wear it a lot more when I was younger. And then this one is Kosas. That's just like a little bit too orange for me. It almost goes like a bronzer or something. And then this is Kylie in Close to Perfect. That's a really good neutral blush for me. And then back here I have, this is the Tropic Hues from Laura Geller, which is actually really pretty. It's just like a little bit too golden for me. And then this is a highlighter from Tom Ford, but it's a kind of a golden blush for me. So that's the Reflect Gilt. I have two Tom Fords back here that I got at clearance at the CCO, and they're sort of weird shades. So this one is Ravish, which is like sort of a rusty, burnt shade, and then Incandescent. I would argue they're both too dark for me, but you know, I can't get rid of them because they're Tom Ford. And that's kind of how I have that. I do have this little Custom Z palette. These are some shades from like the old M Cosmetic brand. One of them is a Makeup Geek shade. These are the ones from the M Cosmetic. I think all the rest of these are Makeup Geek, and I just love the formulas of those, so I have kept them for a while. So those are my powder blushes. That one's like very full. So then we have cream, and I have, this looks like kind of a mess, but it's really not. It's organized by shade. So all of my plum tones, then we go into pinks, then we go into neutrals, then we go into like red, and then we have oranges. I know it looks like it's like hodgepodge, but it's honestly how it is. So my favorite are right now at the moment, I really like this Merit in Cheeky. I got this in a kit from Sephora, super beautiful. This MAC shade, oh my god, it's like, this is Rosie Does It. This is so beautiful. I want to get more of these. These are the Glow Play brushes, super pretty. Cloud Paint, I used to really like this, but I've been going to this more because it is a similar tone and it's just so much easier to use. The Flower Beauty is also really nice. It's like a gel consistency. This is the Honest Beauty. This one is also a really nice formula. This is in the shade Plumberry. You see my love of plums. RMS, this is the Twilight Kiss. Super wearable, easy shade. Like, couldn't get easier than that one. These Doll 10, I got a whole set of these. They're so easy to wear. But like, I can never know. They just have random names, and I just never, like, I just grab one and wear it because they're that easy. But I just grab because I know which area it's in, so I know this is going to be more plummy. These are going to be more pink. This is going to be more neutral, peach. But these are really easy to wear. I think you can't go wrong with literally anything from this formula. These are their Hydrogel cream balms, and just if you get one of these, they're so easy to wear. I got like a set of 10 for $30 or something ridiculously like cheap. I do have a bunch of the Fenties. So these are the plum ones, like Cool Berry. We have here Summertime Wine. My favorite of these is actually Rose Latte, and then I really like, where is it? Petal Popping. Yeah, that one's super pretty. But Fenty Glow. Rose Latte and Fenty Glow are kind of my go-tos, and I'll put those down first and then add another brighter shade on top of them. Not necessarily from Fenty, but that's kind of how I like to wear those. So especially if I feel like being a little extra and layering blushes, I will use those Fenty creams. This is the Janessa Myrix. This is in the shade, what is this, Tutu. That one's nice. I've got this is Pink Lemonade. Don't love that from Fenty. This one's really easy to wear from Charlotte Tilbury, and this is like the Pinkgasm. The nude sticks, this is the one I always keep around, bareback, super pretty, like you can't go wrong with that. This is Lila B in the shade Be True. That one's also really pretty, but like exceedingly expensive for the size. Then I have some Rare Beauty shades here. My favorite Rare Beauty is the shade Hope, and then I have this little itty bitty Grace that I also really like. I don't love her peachy shades, which are really popular, but I do like the other ones. Then I have, what else is on here? I have William Tuttle. This is the shade Mauve Blusher. I have another William Tuttle, but this one's really orange on me. This is K Blusher. I like Mauve Blusher way better. And then I have this Laura Geller Classic Rouge Timeless Skin. This is super pretty. I mean, and I haven't heard anyone talk about this, but it gives you that like very like actual like flushed red to your skin. Super nice. This is the Rose Ink and Azalea. This is a really nice formula. I do find it like a little bit strange when I first put it on, but it blends out really well. So then this is Cheek Slime, blends out really well. It's very similar to me actually for the Laura Geller. This is the shade Fever Dream. That's why it makes sense, because it gives you that sort of reddish hue. Then we have the Rituel de Fille. I have Bee Sting, which is really pretty, and then I have a little sample here of Bloodflower. Bee Sting is really pretty. Bloodflower, I want it to be like this rosy shade from Laura Geller and this shade from Cheek Slime, but it doesn't, and it ends up pulling like burgundy on my skin tone. And then I have an orange shade. I've got Beach Bum. This is a Tom Ford that's super orange, but it was like 75% off at the CCO, and I can't not get Tom Ford for 75% off. So this is one of his glow sticks in the shade Illuminate. This is in Sunstruck, but it's way too orange for me. Like, I have never worn that one. Okay, so those are my blushes. I'm a huge blush fan. Okay, so then we go into highlighters, and all my highlighters are kind of together, and then I have bronzers over here. So I use my highlighters by color. All my pinks are over here, and the only kind of colored highlighters I use these days are like a light pink that I'll top my blushes with, or peach. And then that's kind of the only colors I mess with. Like, I have this one here that has a little bit of like a blue hint to it or something. I just keep this, honestly. Like, I don't know if I'm ever going to use that again. There is a Jeffree Star pink shade back there. That one I'm just keeping because I got rid of most of my Jeffree Star. I can't get rid of this one because it's one of my favorite highlighters ever, but I have a pink one back there. But you can see it's like made its way to the back. Like, I'm probably going to get rid of it soon. My favorite of the pink highlighters would be the Sephora Golden Hour collection, and or this is in the shade Dusk. Super beautiful. This is Rose Gold from Becca, which, I mean, obviously you can't get Becca anymore, or like, might be a little bit harder, but yeah, these two are not my favorite. This is Kylie and Buxom. So for peach, okay, so my favorite ever is the Jeffree Star Peach Goddess, and this is like a giant container. I will have this for like way too long. The Becca in Rose Glow, which I would say is peach, not rose, but it's super beautiful. These are much more like of a neutral peach, and the shade from Jaclyn Hill, Mesmerized, is way more of like a peachy peach. So this is more like a blush shade to me than an actual highlighter. This Laura Geller in Peach Glow is super beautiful, and it gives a very similar effect. This is a Sydney Grace shade that is also a peach shade, and then the last peach one I have here is this Glowdient from, who is this from? I know it's a Korean brand. Does it say it on here? I feel like, oh, it's Touch and Soul. Again, really pretty, soft. I like the sort of whitened peach shades, but they're kind of my go-to shades because it really kind of marries whatever cool tones I have on my cheeks back to my eyes, because I usually wear warm eye stones. So I love to wear sort of like a peachy toned, even if it's whiter, highlighter, and these kind of fill that need for me. These are all of my whites, creams, champagnes. I'm not going to really have anything too deep in here. This is Hourglass. This is a custom palette that I made. It's a shade, one of them is a, can geez, what is this brand? It's Juvia's Place. Yeah, no, this is Anastasia Crushed Pearl. And then these are custom shades I got off Etsy. I literally have no idea what they are, but they're really nice. They actually still smell super good. They're about like 2 years old. This is a MAC palette. It's really nice. It's the Hyper Real Glow. This is the Glam Glow palette. I just recently got this one as well. This is super, just super wearable, and the formula is really nice on that. This is the Kylie. This is the Ice Me Out. This is the Princess one from Princess Please. Is also a very like white and pink. The Ice Me Out is really a white shade. JD Glow is amazing. This is the Cold Ass Ice. Like literally unbelievably beautiful. This is the Tom Ford in Gilt Glow, and this is it's white iridescent. So I don't love it, but you know, again, another 75% off. What can I do about Tom Ford 75% off? And then this is Pearl. Have to have it. It's like a staple for me. This is KKW. This is weirdly nice. I didn't think this would be that nice, and I love it. This is probably my favorite KKW product. This is Victory. Like if you like a light champagne, super pretty. This is the Physicians Formula powder in the lightest shade, and this is Ofra in Beverly Hills. I always use this for the lightest shades as well. This is my little baby Jaclyn Hill Cosmetics in Iced, super pretty champagne shade, and then this is my RMS, which I also love in Grand Dame. Okay, so liquid creamy products that I have here. We have the Doll 10. It's okay. Ritual Defeat. These are colored. So this one is an Ice Bow and Solaris. I personally, if I'm going to use, I got these before I got the Westman Atelier. If I'm going to use a colored balm these days, I'm going to Westman Atelier, but I still have these because I can't get rid of them. They're really nice. I just like the Westman Atelier formula better. This is the Charlotte Tilbury. This is such a beautiful highlighter. But again, Westman Atelier has kind of been eking out for me, especially with the Parla shade. This is the shade Starstruck. Don't love this formula. And then I have two powders. This is Candid Peach from Sydney Grace. I think this is supposed to be a blush, or maybe it is a highlighter, but for me, it is like, it's a nice shade. It's a little bit too peach. And then this is a MAC pigment that I've kept for years, and I still sometimes use it. And then this is Kush, but I use this as, it's an eyeshadow from ColourPop, but I use it as a highlighter. And then I think the only one I didn't say was the Say Beauty one. This is alright. I just recently got this. I haven't used this enough, but I need to use it more. And this is the Say Star Glow. Okay. So the only kind of crossover palettes that I have in here that are blush and bronzer is Charlotte Tilbury. And this is the Film Star. This bronzer is really nice. It's very light. I can't imagine this working on really dark-skinned people. If you're really fair, it's nice, but like this does not have a broad range at all. And then there's the Rach Loves by Pixi collab. This is a beautiful highlighter palette with a really nice luminous bronzer, and that's why I still have it, but I don't think you can get it anymore. I think I got mine off of eBay. This is my gigantic Tom Ford bronzer in Terra. Super light, beautiful bronzer for fair skin. So some of my other bronzers, this one's okay. This is a KKW classic bronze. Don't love it. Unfortunately, this Too Faced, of course, this Hot Cocoa is so nice for really fair skin, and I'm pretty sure it's like discontinued or it was limited edition, and it's like a beautiful bronzer for fair skin. The Christopher Buckle in shade Light Warming Powder, amazingly beautiful for fair skin. Probably my longest used bronzing product is Dallas from Benefit, and I like won't ever get rid of this because they've changed the formula now and it's way too bronze, but this is like a purpley toned bronzer, and it's unbelievable for me. I always wore this under blushes for years because I didn't really like bronzers at all. Some new additions here. This is the Rare Beauty. This is really nice cream bronzer. I don't love Amber from Fenty, but I haven't gotten rid of it yet. This is really nice. This is the Butter Biscuit from Fenty, and that's a really nice cream formula. This is Bisque, which is like the lightest concealer shade from Bare Minerals, but I use this as a like light contour shade. Probably the only contour shade I have here other than the Westman Atelier. I have a Laura Geller Moroccan Bronze. This is a luminous bronzer, and then I also have a Laura Geller. Oh, this is my Bobbi Brown. Where's my Laura Geller? Oh, it went back here. This is the Roman Holiday, which is Laura Geller's like sort of shimmery bronzer. Again, there's a time and place for it. I don't have a lot of them, but and then this is a Bobbi Brown bronzer as well. Oh. Excuse me. Okay, so now we get to eyes. I know we're almost done here, but we have eyes, which arguably is the most interesting of all the stuff I have. Okay, so this is pretty well organized. This is all of my like eyelid brightening, or waterline brightening shades. So I have shades here from Dose of Color, Charlotte Tilbury, this is Tarte, this is Mally Beauty, and this is ColourPop. Then I have my go-to like brown eyeliners, brown and black. So my favorites here, this is one of my favorites ever, which is Sue Divot, which literally you can't get anymore. I had 3 of these, and this is my last one, and I'm so sad because once it's gone, I don't think I can ever get this again, but it's in the shade Tanzania. And then so I have always looking for dupes. The Charlotte Tilbury Garnet is kind of close, but not exact. And then I have the Charlotte Tilbury blue-eyed eyeliners. I really like these. I also like the ColourPop formula as well. This is the shade Get Paid. I actually don't know if you can still get that. And then these Laura Geller ones are pretty awesome too. This is in the shade Smoky Taupe. I have a black here. These are from Laura Geller and Urban Decay. So then my go-to mascaras right now, I kind of don't have that many open, but I always have a lot of backups. My Kira Weiss is my favorite clean beauty one right now, for sure. I really like the Wander Beauty. I use these in tandem. One of them kind of volumizes, one of them gives me lengthening. I like both of those together. I have the ColourPop Blue because sometimes I feel like wearing blue mascara. I have a couple of samples down here. The Lancome Lash Idole is really nice. And then what else? I like the Milk Kush. I haven't used the Ilia yet, and I haven't used the IT Cosmetics yet, and I haven't used this one yet. So I just kind of have some backups there. Okay, so in the center here, I have some of my random single eyeshadows. And the ones that I have here, this is a Give Me Glow highlighter, but it's in the shade Halo. And I guess, I don't know if this will read. It's just like super interesting, and I use this as an inner corner highlight. My husband always comments when I have this, and we haven't determined if he likes it or doesn't like it, but I like it, and I like that it's so noticeable and it's so interesting. These are my Le Métier Débutée stacks. The Le Métier stack that I custom made is this one, and I would argue that this is like my favorite eyeshadow of all time, and it's where I really learned like the color theory that goes with eyeshadows through Le Métier. And so the whole idea of this is you wear like a warm shade, a cool shade, a warm intense shade, and then a cool intense shade, and that's sort of what the stack is. So it's like a bronzy shade, a plummy shade, a coral shade, and then it's like a blue shade, and this gives you a really dynamic eye, and it's called like the couche de couleur method or something like that, and it's like layers of color to get like a really dynamic eye look. I love this, but I mean, I don't think you can even get these anymore. I got them all my shades like at Bloomingdale's for like 75% off or something. I might have even been 90, and when they were kind of getting rid of them, and I was so sad because it's such a cool brand and theory behind their brand. But I just have my favorite colors in here. I have had a lot more colors, but I kind of decluttered them over time, and these are the ones that I really, really like from the brand. This is my milk stack in, what is this? I don't know what this is called. It's like the blues and neutrals. I kind of like it. It gave me the feel of the Le Métier, but it's not nearly as good as the Le Métier at all. And then I have some random shades. So this is a Kaja Bento Orange Blossom. It's alright. I don't love the glitter in this formula. I've heard so many good things about this brand, but I like a couple of the things. I love Korean Beauty. Sorry, let me get a little chair here. I love Korean Beauty, but for some reason, these are just not it for me, this brand. Then this is like a super random item I got in a Birchbox like a really long time ago. This is the Ella Eden in the shade Harmony, but it is such a pretty peach shade, and I just can't part with it. I've got my Stardust. This is, what is this? A Space Cowboy from Urban Decay. Amazing. And then Dose of Color. This is the Shall We Dance. I've got a couple like samples from Natasha Denona. So one from her retro, one from her Glam, and this is a Tom Ford. Okay, so these are all my colored eyeliners, and Dose of Colors went 90% off at Ulta, so I ended up getting like, I was there like the day it went 90% off, so I got all of the colors they had from Dose of Colors. That's why they're here. They were all like $2 or less or something. So crazy. Then I have a bunch of Laura Gellers, a bunch of Marc Jacobs, and my favorite formula for like all of these, I mean, I really like the Marc Jacobs formula. It lasts forever on me. And then the Laura Geller gives a really good like smudgy look. So I guess it just depends what you're going for. The Dose of Colors are okay, but I'm just keeping all of these because so many different colors that I don't have, that if I have any color I want to use, I go here. So these are my brow products. My favorite brow product of all time is the Mally. Where is it? Where are you? It's the Mally Beauty one in taupe. Oh my gosh. I literally don't know where it is, which is giving me like heart palpitations because it's my go-to brow product. Yeah, I literally have to find that because it's my go-to. But there's a Mally Beauty in taupe in here that I love. What I've been using lately is I'm trying to like not use the rest of my Mally, so I've been using the Lancome. This is the Styler. I don't know how you say that first word there. But these are okay. Makeup Forever, okay. I'm not like loving what I've been using. So this is the Wow Brow from e.l.f. Okay. Like I haven't found one to replace my favorite Mally one yet. Then I've been using here, these are Too Faced. These are just like shadow insurance. The main one I use here is the glitter glue when I'm using anything that needs like a really strong base. Okay, so then the last thing I have here, which I used to have so many of, is mineral eyeshadows, and now I just have a sad amount. But this is a stack from Naked Cosmetic that I kind of custom made. It's purples and just like different shades from different ones they had. I used to have all of their shades. There's an eyelash curler back there, and then there's a couple of lashes here. I never do lashes anymore, but there's a few. So we have a couple of shades from Bare Minerals here, and then we have a Sydney Grace shade. The shades from Bare Minerals are in the Buff and High Shine Charisma. I literally wore so many Bare Minerals shades back in the day, but this is what I've got at this point. Alright, so then we move over here to my face palettes, and these are the face palettes that aren't just like blush and highlighter and bronzer. These are like legit from each category, so I wanted to keep them here. This is a really large, these two are empty, but they're gonna have my, or not empty, it has my Salt New York, but I'm actually waiting for a new Salt New York set to come. I ordered a bunch more, and I'm gonna review them. So these are the ones I have right now from Salt New York, and my palette from Salt New York, so keep an eye out for that video coming soon. Then this is my Laura Geller palette. This is really a weird product. I don't usually love like these kind of box products, but this has some really cool products in it that I've used for years and kind of wanted to repurchase. The French Vanilla highlighter from Laura Geller is arguably one of the most natural powder highlighters you can wear. And then this is the shade Portofino, which has a little more luminous to it. This is the medium bronzer for her that doesn't have sparkle, and then this is her all over body bronzer. I do like her bronzer a lot. This is Pink Buttercream and Honeysuckle. Pink Buttercream is really beautiful, and those eyeshadows are great. It's just such a bulky box, but it's called, what is it even called? I literally don't know, but it's like a giant face kit. It's like arguably too bulky and I should get rid of it, but I love some of the shades in it, so I'm gonna keep it. This is the Dior, what is this called? Backstage. I think it's like the first one. Yeah, Universal. I thought I was going to love this because I've heard so many great things about it. I think it's like too glittery. I don't love it as nearly as much as I thought. The only color I really wear from it is the blush. This is a trio from Tom Ford. It's the Soleil Contouring Compact and it's Soleil Afterglow. It's super nice. I actually take this traveling with me a lot because it's really sturdy packaging and it's just really easy to wear universal shades. This is my Hourglass in Ambient, Lighting, Edit, and Ghost. I like it, but I end up taking the Pacifica way more often. And this is the Pacifica in Cherry Bomb. This is really nice packaging, really light. It's not like that it's sturdy packaging, it's just super lightweight. and I don't really care if it gets a little beat up, but I end up taking this over the Hourglass way more often if I'm traveling. Not that I've done that much traveling this year, but you know. Okay, so we're at like the end of the makeup in the last two drawers here. So I'm going to go through these two quickly because we're at almost an hour and I don't really know how that happened. But what we have here are my palettes, and they're arranged by color types. So I always keep all of my peachy shades here, all of my neutrals here. These are like reddy tones, and then sort of the plummy tones. That's what we're kind of working back through here. So I'm going to go through some of my favorites in here. And my favorite, like, blending out crease shades are these Nude Lights by Huda Beauty. I end up just taking my brush and going through all four of the matte shades in this, and just that's what I use for my crease. Just put that right in. Then I just recently got this Too Faced Naturals. I had the old one like years ago, but it's okay. I actually think the Huda is definitely much better. This is the Alva palette. This is Odin's Eye, and I like this one. I have another Odin's Eye right here that's peachy. This one's way better. This is like the Alva palette. California Love. It's the only ColourPop palette I still have because I love the El Dorado shade in here, but I've decluttered most of my ColourPop palettes at this point. I used to be a huge ColourPop person. This is the classic eyeshadow palette from KKW. Super beautiful. This is the Natasha Denona Mini Nudes. I just recently got this. It looks really pretty, but I have not really worn it yet. Sydney Grace Summer Days. Unbelievably beautiful if you're into bronzy warm tones. This is the Patrick Ta. I like this. So what I kind of have some gripes with it. I don't love their cream formula, and I think I have some better cream products, but I do think that the formula of the mattes and stuff are really nice, so I'm kind of torn on that. This is a palette I recently got from MAC, and it kind of has some oldies and really goodies in it. And my favorite shade in this, I guess, is Pepper. And it's like weirdly good. I mean, it has cork, it has a bunch of shades like Rice Paper that I used to use for years. But that shade right there, the third on the bottom from the left, I love that shade. So this is a really nice shade. It was the MAC Travel exclusive. Amber, I love so many of those shades in there. This is the PYT. I have both like the warm and the cool toned one. I like the warm toned one. I like the warm tone one better, but the cool tone has some really nice taupes. These are my two Tom Ford sort of warm tone. This is Leopard Sun. I like this one here. This is the Suspicion, way better. This is such a beautiful quad. I also got that at the CCO because, you know, all my Tom Ford comes from the CCO. And the Suspicion, though, is super beautiful. This is my little make your own Hourglass. I have 3 shades in here. Obviously, I wouldn't like buy Hourglass, those inserts again. It's alright quality, but ridiculously priced. These are 2, and they're not my only Charlotte Tilbury, but they're like my brown toned ones. This is the Flawless Filter, a Luxury Hollywood palette, and it's a really nice palette. I would argue that like definitely could dupe that easily in my collection. And then this is the Copper Charge, really pretty for blue eyes, and that's kind of the point. This is my Pat McGrath mini one. I had like 2 of these, but this is the only one I kept. I like 3 of the shades in here a lot. This is the Sublime. I guess it's called Sublime. Yeah, Eye Ecstasy Sublime. The packaging on that is like super dinky though. This is a Makeup Geek quad that I put together, and honestly can't remember the shades, but when they were getting revamping, they like put all of these on like ridiculously clearance prices. They're really nice go-to shades. Can't beat them. This is Moonshot, which is a Korean brand my sister got me. I really like these. The formula of those eyeshadows, if you can get Moonshot. Here I have an Ofra. This is, what shade are you? Signature Palette Getaway. Okay, so that's like the peachy one. We're going into the peaches now. Then we've got, this is the Sassy Siennas. Then we have, I can't get rid of these because these are beautiful. This is my Lime Crime Pocket Candy. And these are just so pretty. I love the shades in here, Pop and Snap and Chew. So those are like my go-tos from this. This is such an amazing packaging, that Polly Pocket stuff. This is Pony from Memebox, and this is the Shine Easy Glam 3. I love matching this color with the Moonshot, and then I do kind of what I do for the Le Métier look. Le Métier de Beauté, like Couche de Couleur method. And then this is my Too Faced Tickled Peach. This is really one of my favorite traveling palettes for peachy eyes. This is my Trist palette from what is this for? Busy Arts. There's like 2 or 3 shades in this one. I don't like use this that often, but there's just like 2 or 3 shades that get me with that palette. I can't get rid of it. And this is the peach palette from Odin's Eye. I don't love this palette at all. Honestly, it'll probably be my next to declutter for sure. And then we go to like, this is the Love palette from Natasha Denona. I got that in my Beautylish Lucky Box last year, and this has some really beautiful shades in it. I don't use it as often as I would like. This is the purpley toned, what is this called? Crystallized. There's 2 shades in here that I love, and that's what pretty much the reason why I still have this. Otherwise I would get rid of it. The 2 shades in the middle are super beautiful, and that first one down the bottom. Overall though, it's not a great palette, but there's like 2 really pretty metallics in there that are keeping me from getting rid of it. This is the Day to Night. I really like the taupe in that palette. This is my Charlotte Tilbury palette in Starry Eyes to Hypnotize. Super beautiful palette. One of her holiday palettes. Then we've got the Huda Mauve Obsessions, and I keep this because I really like the dark tones in this, but I haven't really used that much this year. And then this is the Walk of No Shame. That's kind of, for me, I feel like going to replace the Huda because it does have more of a warm red tones. This is a beautiful travel palette as well. This is the, what does it call this? Darling look, I guess. I mean, these are like, this is a perfect size to try Charlotte Tilbury, and I highly recommend that one. My second favorite Tom Ford for sure is this one right here. This is the Nude Dip, and I think I got this for like $16 at the CCO. Beautiful if you like purple, an amazing eye palette. Then this is my other Lime Crime. My daughter keeps trying to steal these from me, but I honestly use these a lot, and I really like the white in this. The icing shade is a beautiful white. I don't really have any other whites that I like, and this is the one I go to if I need a white. This is my Pat McGrath, and this is the Pat McGrath Mothership Rose Decadence. It's really the only Pat McGrath palette that I have, and other than that, like dinky one, but I get a really beautiful purple eye with that, so that's probably my favorite purple palette at the moment. And then this is the Classic Blossom. I like this. I always go for the Pat McGrath first, and then this is my Zoeva. This is the Zoeva and Cocoa blend. Really pretty as well. I think they like discontinued that from Ulta or something, but I got that at Ulta when it was being clearanced out. Okay, so then in this one, I keep all of my favorite creams, and this one changes often because creams don't really have the same shelf life as powder products, so my creams kind of like, you know, they go out pretty fast. But this is a little palette that I have here, and I like to keep like shades that I want to use more often here. So these are shades from, I'm trying to think which brands these are. Oh, that's so challenging when you have like out and about shadows. This is Sydney Grace. These are Divinia, and I have a bunch of Divinia cosmetic singles. Sydney Grace, I think all the rest of those over there are Sydney Grace, and I think this one is, yep, this is from Makeup Geek. That's Legend. So those are some like shadows I just wanted to use the other day, so I put them in here. I do have the Tati Beauty Volume 1, and I pretty much only have this for the glitters. There was a really good glitter formula. I wear glitter like twice a year, but I'm keeping it for the formula. And then I have my other Adept cosmetic case here. Let me just pull this out really quickly and just show you. So these are my single shadows, and I keep this arranged. It's like this side is my warm side, this side is my cool side. And these are like a variety of shadows from so many different brands. I mean, we've got Cosette, we have Natasha Denona, we have Divinia, we have, I'm trying to think, this is like Juvia's Place, this is Too Faced. Just so many different brands in here. There's the Balm, like all the different things. But these are all, I've swatched all of these many times. They're like beautiful shades. A lot of these look like the same tone, but they have, you know, some variety. And then a lot of these are mattes in case I need to pull out a matte. And then I'll just stick these in that quick palette that you saw there, and if I want to use them for a look. And these are all my plum tones. I've got a bunch of Natasha Denona. A lot of these here are like mattes on this side. These are some like go-to really quick, just lay down shades if I need a quick shade. And I'm not using that nude one from Huda Beauty. Some really beautiful shades here. This is like JD Glow. Just a bunch of random single shades. But I love this Adept Cosmetic container. So I keep that here. And then whenever I'm like actively using. Okay, so let's go over some of my favorite products in here. Let me sit up for a second. So what we have on the side, these are all of my these are my Tom Ford duos creams, and my favorite is Golden Peach, then Naked Bronze, then Sun Worship. The Golden Peach is like kind of a holy grail cream product for me. Then we have Eyes to Mesmerized by Charlotte Tilbury, and this is in Bet. Beautiful. This is a Korean brand. I think Eco Soul. These are really nice. They're very similar to the Scattered Light from Hourglass. This is in Reflect. This is the new Jaclyn Hill one, and this is in the shade Glassy. I've heard like nothing but negative reviews about those, but I love this shade Glassy, and I would argue that if you like the Space Cowboy from Urban Decay, you would literally love this because it's just really similar to that, except it gives you a peachy hue. Really beautiful finish to that. This is Auric, and this is Temper. Amazing. I love that. I can't wait to try more from them. So what I have on this side is this is the Danessa Myricks. This is in the shade Fantasy. Super, super pretty. This is the Ulta Beauty Bouncy Cream eyeshadow. This is the one in Champagne Sorbet. Super easy to use. This is a Cella, and so I have this in the cream because the white there and that are both like a really creamy texture, and I just want to remember to use them in days that I want like a really quick eye like that. And then this is the Becca Ignite highlighter, but I use it as a cream shadow, and I use it really lightly and it doesn't crease. So stick cream shadows. I don't have many right now. I used to have a ton, but I just weeded them down to like my absolute favorite. So there's two here from Bobbi Brown. We've got Dusty Mauve and Golden Bronze. These are super easy to wear and blend, and they last really well. I have one Mally stick, which is an autumn shimmer. Really easy. And then these are Belle Beauty by Kim Gravel. These do not come off. Like, you put them on really quickly, smudge them, and they don't move. I really like these. They're kind of one of those things, like, if you're going to be out all day and you're, like, on the go, those are kind of the perfect thing to take with you. These are my Sydney Grace cream shadows. I love every single one of these, but my most used, sorry, that just fell. My most used for this would be, not that one. It would be Boardwalk. I've used this so many times this year. It's just the perfect blue eye shade ever. It's so beautiful. But all of these are really nice. Cliff Jumping is like highly iridescent. What else do I really like? I like Suntan. Yeah, Cliff Jumping is like almost too reflective. It's like the most reflective shade I've ever used. Okay, so I used to have, no joke, like 100 ColourPop shadows, and I distilled it down to my absolute favorite. Lala is my favorite cream shadow of all time. I have two backups, and they discontinued it because, of course, ColourPop discontinued it because they discontinue everything. But I'm almost done with this one, and I'm really sad because it's just the perfect shade. It's the easiest shade. If I don't know what to do, I will wear that. I have Kathleen Lights here, DGAF. This is a little quirky, Amaze. Just these are like distilled down one by one, just my favorite shades from ColourPop. They're all kind of the same tone. This is As You Wave, a little more orange than Lala, but you know, this is Sundance. Probably you can't get any of these anymore because that's how they are. And then I have a couple of HBK, or I guess that's how you say it. And I really like this one's Cotton Candy. These are really pretty, and these are kind of my only one other than ColourPop that I like that has that same kind of texture. So those are all of those. Now what I have in the rest of the ones here is, this one's my face mask, and you know, if I feel like a mask, I'm coming in here, lips, all that stuff. Then these are all of my backup face washes, toners. Then these are treatment products, acne products. It's all in here. My serums go to the back. And I usually pull up whatever I want. Oh, this is the fun drawer. This is like whatever I'm not using, but a lot of these are mascaras because like when you buy kits, there's always mascaras in them. And obviously I don't want to open them. Any like samples I get, I bring them down here in case there's something I want to use. Backup sponges. I always buy these little refillable makeup systems from Makeup Forever. They're like $2 on Sephora. You can't beat it. Just like backups. Here's my Lala. There's another Lala down there. Yeah, all my backups are here. And just stuff that I like, don't want to open and have open in my drawers, like stuff for traveling. Keep that here. Then I have, I opened that one already. These are all of my lotions down here. I love the Solasu. And down here, contacts, and then all of my random jewelry that's like I'm not using at the moment. So those are my stacks. Obviously, we're at an hour right now, so I think I have to stop. But I do have more items. So if you want to know about anything, if you stayed this whole video, wow, congratulations. And let me know if you want to see any more in detailed or color swatches. Obviously, if I did that today, it would be like 7 hours. But if you want to see anything else, let me know. Okay, bye.